Now available in paperback and e-readers, Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer. Take a trip into the macabre world of goth modeling in the new millennium in this spooktacular Spinsterella story. Pick up your copy of Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer in paperback and e-readers at Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. Maryland Governor Wes Moore vetoed a bill that would study slavery reparations in Maryland. Now, the people in the state of Maryland wanted to study the whole concept of giving foundational black Americans like myself reparations to compensate us for slavery, Jim Crow, and the current and ongoing discrimination many foundational black Americans suffer in this country that keep us in a state where we cannot actualize our potential in this country economically, and vetoed this bill even though he was a member of the Blue Party and Maryland's first black governor. Now, when it comes down to Governor Wes Moore, who is not a foundational black American, he said he vetoed the bill because him being the governor of Maryland shows that black people can go out here and achieve in this country, and because he was allowed to achieve in this country and become a governor, he believes that there is no need to study reparations in the state of Maryland, basically looking to kill the bill, and looking to kill the bill because he believes that on an individualized level, he does not have to go out here and represent the group of foundational black Americans. Now, what's going on here with Wes Moore is that Wes Moore is looking to try to go out here and look to create an angle for himself politically so he can go out here and look to aspire for higher political office. And he believes that if he goes out here and looks to go out and veto the whole situation with reparations, a whole issue that foundational black Americans brought up, he can go out here and gain favor with those in the Blue Party as related to white society, and looking to elevate his status, hoping to either get a higher office in as related to being in as related to possibly going out here and pursuing a higher office like a cabinet position in the next presidential office of the next Blue Party president. That's what Wes Moore is looking to go out here and jockey for as related to vetoing this bill for reparations. And a lot of people would think that this was a very tragic thing that's happening here as related to Wes Moore vetoing this bill, studying reparations, but I believe it's a good thing because it's letting us know who the bootlicks and tethers are. And like Professor Black Truth has said, when it comes down to this issue of reparations is like truth serum, and it's showing us who is for foundational black Americans and who is not for us. And it's basically showing us that we can look past the empty symbolism of Governor Wes Moore being the first black governor of Maryland, because as the first black governor, he's showing us that he's not for black people, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing that this man is basically showing us that he's not looking out for foundational black Americans and is looking to go out here and play the same cards that Barack Obama played, where he said he was the president of the United States of America, not black America. And if he's not for black Americans, then foundational black Americans in the next election, when this guy is up for re-election, we can just go out here and sit on the couch and stay home, because if he's not for our agenda, then we don't need to be for him. And we don't need to be for Wes Moore anymore, because he's already shown he's not for us. No, if he's not out here looking to get the support of a black agenda, then black people, we don't need to support Wes Moore. And him going out here and looking to veto this bill that studies slavery reparations shows me that he's out here looking to be an individual, not representing the group of black people who voted for him. And he's got a major bad case of the mentality I call the I got mine, screw you mentality. This is a mindset that started with the baby boomers in thinking that, oh, I got mine, I got my governorship, I got my prominent job, so screw all the other people up under me because I got mine. And this individualized mindset already lets us know as a voting bloc who not to vote for, because if he's not about providing tangibles to foundational black Americans like myself with reparations to compensate us for all we go through in this country, it basically shows us that this is a candidate we don't need to pick, because when we pick candidates, we're supposed to pick candidates that represent our agenda. And since he doesn't represent our agenda, we don't need to be no more for Wes Moore. No, we need to charge him to the game in the next election, charge him to the game to the next election, and let him know that if you're not for a black agenda, we're not for you. No, you are on your own at this point. And this guy basically signed his own political death warrant, as I see it, as related to his career. He's basically done at this point, because no black voter is going to want to vote for a candidate who is not looking to support black people and support the black voting bloc. I mean, when I look at Wes Moore, this guy basically, again, ended his political career by vetoing that bill. By vetoing that bill, he shows us, again, he's got the I got mine, screw you mentality, but he's not going to have much anymore, because what happened with Wes Moore is he doesn't understand that reparations are important to us foundational black Americans, and important to us because we want to be compensated for the work our ancestors did in building this country. We want to be compensated for the terrorism we suffered after we got emancipated and got our freedom, and were terrorized for looking to compete in this economy. We wanted to compete in this economy, but the terrorism from the very same blue party that Wes Moore is a part of, basically sanctioned by the Ku Klux Klan, kept many black people from being able to compete and be able to achieve their American dream as related to the terrorism of the Ku Klux Klan and oppressive policies of Jim Crow in the South, discrimination in the North. All of this basically oppressed black wages and kept black people from being able to have jobs and have a functional economy that could be on the level of Japan and Korea right now if these white racists hadn't interfered and cost us trillions of dollars as related to our economy's growth. I mean, this is what we were denied and are still being denied right now, because a guy like myself shouldn't have been out of work for 15 years because what I experience as related to the current and ongoing discrimination that goes on in many of these jobs, because many people would rather hire white women and go out here and use them to create an HR brick wall that keeps heterosexual black men out and keeps some black women out of the job market. I mean, this is what our economy was presented from being actualizing itself, and reparations would pay us for all of that oppression we suffered for over 500 years in this country. But sadly, we've got bootlicks like Wes Moore thinking that, oh, because he got his, screw everybody around us, screw everyone around us. And this is where foundational black Americans need to go out here and let Wes Moore know that we will no more support him. We will no longer support him, and basically let him find out how when he goes out here and screws the black vote, he's no longer going to have his. Because if you don't want to support tangibles for foundational black Americans, you should not be representing us. No, we're tired of these empty symbolic politicians being in empty symbolic positions, saying they're the first black whatsoever, but not doing anything for the black people who went out here and put you in that position. No, foundational black Americans were tired of supporting candidates who don't support the black agenda, don't want to give us anything tangible. No, we leave these guys to basically blow in the wind in the next election and let them get their support as they are individuals from all of those good white folks and other folks who basically are not really happy about seeing no black bootlick in a position they want, and let them learn the hard way about things as related to this whole situation. Because when you veto our agenda and our talking points that we present as related to our agenda, then we know not to vote for you. we know not to vote for Wes Moore anymore. And that's what we need to do in the case of Wes Moore. I mean, Wes Moore basically showed us who he is. Again, showed us that he's not for black people. And if you're not for black people, then we, foundational black Americans, need to focus on creating our candidates. This is where I agree with the late David Carroll when he told us all what we needed to do regarding the political process, because the way we keep bootlicks from like Wes Moore from being appointed by the Blue Party to be empty suits is to go out here and fill those suits with people who are representing our agenda. And we have to go out here and look to, again, hammer out our black agenda with bullet points like getting an black hate crime bill passed, going out here and making sure that reparations are not, again, studied, but actually laid out with a plan to distribute cash money to foundational black Americans like myself who have been denied opportunities over the years, and go out here and hammer out other points in the black agenda, such as ensuring that we can be able to get an actual opportunity to compete in the American economy and be able to build our own economy with our own money and build our own wealth without fear of reprisal from terrorist organizations like the Ku Klux Klan and other organizations. And again, we have to pick our own candidates. Again, this is about taking the next step. Yes, it's a good thing that this guy vetoed this, because now we know that he is no longer hiding behind the empty position of being the first black governor of Maryland. No, we know that he's a clear and present bootleg who is not about black people, similar to the cream of wheat man here, Eric Adams. Now that we know who you are, we know to withdraw our support as a voting bloc and withdraw our support and let these guys know that we are only going to support the candidate we pick for our agenda, to represent our agenda, because the only way we're going to get tangibles at this point is not with these hand-picked shills that come from either party, because neither one of these shills, again, want to do anything for us. Again, they are all about getting theirs and screwing black people. So this is where we have to take that next step and start picking our own candidates and picking candidates that represent our agenda and represent our agenda towards getting tangibles for black people. Now, if you want to see me make more videos about other topics, you can drop a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And if you want to, again, pick up some of my books, you can find them on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them at other online booksellers like Draft to Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, A Thorn in My Side. The man who rules the world takes on an agent from the CIA from the Black Way in this all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get your copy of John Haynes' A Thorn in My Side in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Esteemed Season of the Witch Girl. The aspiring angel takes on a wicked teenage witch in this action-packed, all-new Esteemed series adventure. Pick up your copy of Esteemed Season of the Witch Girl in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers today. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.